camp all the way from California, San Jose. And what I heard from Terry is that they've been with the company for 9 years now, coming to 9 years. And we would really love to hear their story. Okay, guys? So let's take it away. We're all excited. We all want to hear your story in Worldventures.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks a lot, Dennis. Appreciate you guys having us on this call. And, you know, I appreciate your friendship. When we met back in Monte Carlo, had a great time there on the RMD trip. It was awesome getting to know you. I love your heart. I love your energy. And it's great that we can form friendships, even though we're 10,000 miles apart. And it's because we have the same mindset. We're like-minded. And that's really what our business is all about, right? It's about getting around people who make us better versions of us. And to your point, it was 9 years ago, November, it'll be 9 years ago that I signed up. And candidly, when I signed up, Mary wanted nothing to do with this. She just, don't even talk to me about it. But I got a phone call from a good friend of mine. The guy used to be the pastor at our church. He married us coming up on 26 years ago. And this was in October, so 9 years ago next month. He calls me and he goes, dude, you got to look at this. And he's all excited about it. So he was so excited, I knew someone had lied to him. And I was now going to find out what this lie was all about and get him out of this thing. Now, the reason for that is my parents had been in Amway at that time for about 36 years at that point. And I had been around I'd grown up around network marketing. I had tried a couple of the things. Then I did the Amway thing. Mary reluctantly joined me in that as well.
Yes.
And so we gave that 6 years and got nothing. I mean, it was just zero success in that. What we did get was cynical and tired, and we almost divorced after that whole thing went down. It was just, it was rugged. It was very, very hard. And for me, I'm a pastor, and so I'm very big on the Bible. And my Bible says, hope deferred makes the heart sick. Our hope after 6 years was really deferred, and our hearts were really sick. And so we started blaming each other, you know, for what wasn't happening, what didn't. It's your fault, your fault. And so we just had this stuff. So I just thought, okay, I'm done with network marketing. I'm just going to go get a job and that I can be happy with and make the best life I can out of a job. So we went through, just kind of kept working and things like that. When I got the call about this, Mary wasn't working. She hadn't been working for a couple of years. But what I know about this industry, the thing that happened while we were in, even though we didn't have success, I saw what success looks like when it works. Mm-hmm. And she saw the same thing. And we saw this lifestyle that was available. It just never worked for us. And it didn't work for my parents to get that lifestyle that I'm talking about, the lifestyle that you get to live as an IMD, $1 million ring earner. Are you kidding me? It's just, it's like a dream. And so we knew that was possible, but I couldn't quite believe it in the beginning for me. So I couldn't find a reason not to get in. I finally jumped in. Mary's like, don't even talk to me about it. But then we saw a cruise. We had just booked a cruise. The same cruise came out as a dream trip, and all of a sudden it's $650 less than what we had just paid. So now all of a sudden I'm a believer, and Mary says, let me see that website, because she's now going to go validate all this stuff is real or isn't. And we kind of got started. So anything you want to share in the very beginning pieces of this?
Well, you know, when Terry saw this, and I basically said, you know what, you can do this. Good luck, have fun. Don't ask me to do anything. But what I was willing to do was, when we do have, because we're the first one in the Bay Area to do this, so we would have a travel party, but with basically every Tuesday night at our house. And Terry said, can you put coffee? Can you do whatever? You know, I'm the hostess with the mostest, so I can put coffee and I can have my house open to everybody. But when I saw this, well, when I saw what Terry can do, is that I always believed in him. And so I said, you know what, if you want to do this, great. So I always believed that he could do it. It's just I never believed I could do it, because we've done the Amway thing, and seriously, I I got the crappiest job. I hated everything about it, but I did it because we were dating. And, you know, of course, we married later. And so I did it for love, which is not a good idea, but it was good. And at the end, but here is so different because, and we'll share a little bit later on, but for the first time in my life, I realized that this is something I could do. Yep. And I can be very good at it. And I became very good at it, but that's not what I saw on day one.
Right.
Day one, I'm like, don't talk to me. But 3 years, I think, into it, I believe I could. And so I did. Yeah. And so now.
Let's back up a little bit. Let's back up before we get to that.
Oh, okay. All right.
We got some more stories.
Oh, yeah, we got more stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was willing to go on the vacations, though, ladies. She was willing to do that. And so we get started. For me, I got started. And I want to be really clear on something. For those of you who build together as spouses, she made a comment. I never asked her to do anything she wasn't ready to do. I never expected her to do anything. I decided for me that I was going to do it. And because I did it and I stayed true to my word, she came along because she saw that I was true to my commitment. And I never asked her, I never made her feel bad about not doing anything. Never. Okay. So it's really important for you guys. If you got a team, you're pulling them to success. You're not pushing them to success. We pull people where we're going. We cast vision and we pull them where we're going. You pull them by continuing in the direction that you say you're going to go. So we got started, and it was like 4 hours a week, really, truly. I just didn't give it a lot of time. I didn't see it all that big. I didn't really get that there was money in it. But I knew it was, I obviously knew there was money. I just didn't understand how big. About 4 months in, got a guy came out, Tom Gorse, who's now an IMD. He was a marketing director at the time. He came out, to help out. I'm looking at his back office, and I'm like, hey, what's that number right there? And he tells me that's his residual income for the month. I'm like, what? So then I start to think, well, how much money is in this? So he gives me some more understanding of what I didn't understand. And then I started to crank it up. More people were coming in, and then I was giving it like 10 hours a week. So for the first year, it was 4 to 10 hours a week, just flopping around, not really trying. But we hit director about a year in. Then I decided I'm going to leave my job. Now, I am not recommending anybody do this, okay? I'm not recommending that. For me, remember, I had seen what network marketing can do when it works. So we're directors, and we live in San Jose, California. So in the United States, the richest nation in the world, if you take the top 20 most expensive cities to live in the United States, 7 of them are right here where we live. So when I left my job as a director, I was making, you ready? $1,100 a month from Worldventures, and she was not working. And I said, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this full time. And so she cried for about a week. She said, what are you trying to do to my life? And so then I said this, though. I said, okay, hon, here's your new job description. You got to go on vacation, take lots of pictures and video, and post them on social media. And she said,
yes, of course.
So that's about a year in. Now, another year in, we hit marketing director, and I had money in the bank. Okay. I had what I thought was about 18 months worth of money. It turns out it was like 12. But I had money in there. So if I didn't make a penny, I knew I could live that long. But every dollar we made gave us more time. And the thing was, I want to stress something before we get to where she was starting to go. When I saw that there was the money that was available, I set my goal for marketing director. The reason I set my goal for marketing director was because I did not believe that I could hit RMD. And that's because of all the lack of success we had had previously in Amway. That was because of the lesser success that my parents had. Even though they were full-time Amway, they never had that real big wealthy lifestyle. That wasn't the thing. So I set a goal for marketing director because I had some self-limiting beliefs. Okay. And we hit marketing director. That was awesome. And then about 2.5, almost 3 years in, we're getting close to RMD. Yet, things started to get tough. Business started to back up a little bit, and I had some leaders that were just kind of fighting with each other, and it was not going like I wanted it to. We were about 60 away from RMD at that point. And then one morning I woke up and 10% of our team had quit overnight. And
Awesome.
And all of a sudden in my head, remember the self-limiting beliefs, all the voices started. Oh, this is as successful as you get to be. See, you are never going to be an RMD because that's not what you get to do. That's not who your family is. That's for other people. That's for successful people. That's not you. You deserve to be here, not here. And so all these voices started to really chatter in my mind. And so I finally picked up the phone. I called that guy that came out, Tom Gorris. I said, dude, I quit. I'm almost 3 years in, almost RMD, but now heading backwards. And all these self-limiting beliefs are becoming so big that I called and I said, I'm out. This is not going to work. And thankfully, I didn't have a job because I had to get back in before the day ended because I had to eat, and bathe indoors. We like to do those things. And from that day forward, it's not like it got a whole lot easier, but I didn't have another option. I had burned the bridge. Matt Morris talks about burning the bridge. I had actually burned that bridge. There was nothing to go back to. She still wasn't working. And so long story short, we worked through a lot of those things, a lot of the mental things that we had going, for me, that I had going on. And about 6 months later, we hit RMD. And that's when, it was after RMD where things were we were about 3 years in. And then Mary was there, we were doing events. We started doing regional trainings here, and she would run the events and things like that. So she started to pick up the administrative part because that's her real strength. But on the business side, she just wasn't ready to do that. Not that she wasn't willing, she wasn't ready. I hadn't asked her. But then we had a situation where I had a couple of meetings that came together at the same time, and I needed her to cover one of them. So I said, could you please cover one of these meetings? Get to the meeting with the lady. And so from then on.
Well, first I thought, no, I'm not ready to do this. But Tere said, you got this, you can do this. And I said, okay, I'll go do it. And the whole time I'm driving, I'm thinking, oh gosh, I hope that person doesn't show up, so I don't have to do it, right? But when I did show up, I did what I've learned. I've watched what Tere did, and I just watched. And I said, so I opened my laptop, just show what I could have shown, what I know what to show. And the person said yes. So I said, okay, this is easy. I can do this. And so going forward, is the fear that I have, because Terry's always done everything for the business side. So I've watched him, I supported him, but I could never believe I could do it. So when I did do it, I felt really good. Not to say that I was really good at it first, but I was willing to do it. So that's the whole point of working together and finding the strength of the other person and letting them know that they can do it, and encourage your spouse, your partner, to say that, hey, you can do this. And that's why I start doing more of it, because I had to believe in myself that I could. And I was, the other business we were in, I did everything that I didn't want to do, but I pretended I had fun. But here I'm having a lot of fun because I have success, that I see the results where I didn't have that before. So now I believe, so I do more because I believe.
Yeah. Key point in there, Dennis, is that, like I said, I never pushed her to do anything she wasn't ready to do. And what I did do, though, is I called her up. I wanted to put her in position to be successful. So running the events, we had to figure out our roles in that. Once she started to get engaged, because it was me up until then, but once she started to engage, we had to figure that out. We had to learn how to work together. And we did. And, you cover this, I cover this. But there's never been one time, never, where one of us said to the other one, you're not doing X. It's never been that. Because when I took the responsibility in the beginning, I was owning my responsibility. I was owning my business. When Mary started to engage, she went at her pace. I just kept calling her up to who she can be, who I saw her being. And little by little, she'd do little bits of, just on stage, with a microphone. That's not really her strength. That wasn't what she wanted to do. But over time, because she grew into her strength zone, she now loves to get the mic. I just love, is that too strong of a word? She's comfortable.
I'm comfortable.
She's comfortable with the microphone in front of 100 or in front of 10,000, because she grew at her pace, and but she wanted more. The other day she walked out of here and she goes, I'm excited about showing the plan, because she wins there. I call her, she's a badass assassin. And so she closes like nobody, man. She's a great, great, great closer. And everybody on the team knows it. So I just have her train on closing because she's really good at it. So we've learned our strengths. We've worked within those strengths and never beat each other up for what the other one is or isn't doing. And so I hope there's a lot of, there might be a lot of people out there that, they're waiting for their spouse to do whatever. Can't do it. You're waiting for your team. You're waiting for your upline, whatever. You got to own your business. It's yours. It's your life. And as long as you're blaming somebody else, it's easy to not do something. But when the buck stops with you and you own it, then it's you that's got to go do it. And the last thing I'd say, Dennis, is this. Both of us had to overcome self-limiting beliefs. We are no different than anybody listening. For real, man, we struggle with all the same things everybody else struggles with. It's not like it just went like it was sunshine and lollipops the whole time. It wasn't. When I was director, I went full time and I set a goal to be marketing director. 6 weeks later, I'm full time, man. I got a plan. I'm going to go do this. And from May 15th, when I set that goal to, from April 15th to May 31st, to go from director to marketing director, I'm going to kill it. My business went backwards. And by May 31st, it was smaller than it was when I set the goal. It's not like that's never happened to us. It's not like it didn't happen to you. And the thing is, when you get knocked down, you got to be the person that will stand back up one more time than you get knocked down. And that's what we chose to do. We just kept doing the thing until we finally decided we were going to go get IMD done. We both put our heads down 5 years in, and we busted it. We focused completely on what that looks like. Let's go get it. We put everything off to the side, and we gave it a 1 year run with everything we got. And we went from RMD to IMD in 1 year, and life has gotten completely different since then. So with that, that's the short version of the story, my friend.
Wow, that's awesome, guys. So you've been in the company for how long, Terry? Mary?
November, it'll be 9 years.
All right. So can you just share with us, why do you still believe in the company, believe in Wayne, believe in the executives, and why do you believe that over all these years of challenges, this company can still become the next big thing?
So for me, understand the perspective, folks. I'm going to talk to you about a 45-year look at network marketing. That's how long I've been around this industry. When my parents got into Amway, there were a handful of what we would call IMDs here. They have a rank there. It doesn't matter what it is. But they had about 5 or 7 what would be IMDs back in 1970, okay? When I swore I would never do it. I watched my parents did. I was like, no way am I doing that. And for 20 years, I didn't do it until finally I signed up. But when I got in 1990, man, there were like hundreds and hundreds of these people at that rank. And I'm like, what the heck? So something changed somewhere along the way. In the early 70s, Amway went through a big investigation. The Federal Trade Commission here, huge investigation. It took a big toll on them. At the same time, there was a guy, big deal in Amway. His name was Dexter Yeager. And candidly, if you go look at all network marketing for all history, for all companies all over the world, Dexter Yeager is the top income earner by a mile. He's the guy. So back in the early 70s, a TV show here called 60 Minutes that played every Sunday night here in the US, got him on there as a way to interview him and all of his success. And they turned it around and they edited that thing differently and they crucified him. It was a bad deal and it gave Amway a big black eye. Now, why do I say that? Amway went through this 5-year period of bad publicity, just bad stuff. But the foundation was solid. The ownership was true. They had integrity. They had a comp plan that worked, and a solid business is what they came out with. And they had some solid leaders. What happened from that very difficult time, that crucible, that fire they went through, they got refined. And after that, they went on a 20 to 25 year run. They went from about $3 billion in revenue to $13 billion in revenue. And I believe with everything in me, Dennis, that we are at the beginning of a 20-year run for Worldventures because of exactly what happened over the last year, not so much in the last few months, but late 2017, early 2018. It was a tough time, no doubt about it. But I look at the difficulty that we came through and what happened through it, that at United, they added more benefit to the membership. And then again at boot camp, and they added more money into the comp plan. And I look at that and I think to myself, through the struggle, through this very difficult time, where a lot of people chose to go do something else, the leadership grew the company. They grew the membership. They made our opportunity better during the downtime. That, to me, is leadership that I'm willing to follow. I mean, I'm willing to follow to the end. When I got in this, I didn't get in to try it out. I didn't get in for a few years to go retire. I got in this to do this for the rest of my life, to go impact people for the rest of my life, so that my kids can do this as a business if they want to. My grandkids can build this as a business if they want to. That's why I got in this. My parents, 43 years in Amway, that's the stock that I come from. And we're going to be here until they close the doors or the lights go out or we die. One of those three things is going to happen. And that's just us. And I'm all bought in on Wayne because Wayne was willing to give his baby to Josh Payne and say, here, take my baby and raise it to an adult. And Josh said, I got this. And between those two guys, man, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. People make mistakes all the time. But I look at the heart. I look at their intentions. What do they intend? And I believe that the company has our best intentions in mind when they make decisions. Not that they make every decision right. But with Josh there, with Wayne there, with what Eddie does, I just believe with everything in me that they want to do the right thing, and they've proven it now. Josh came in and proved. He said what he was going to do, and then he went and he did what he said he was going to do. I'm all in, bro.
Well, I treat this business like a marriage. So people can quit because things get hard and they walk away from a relationship. For the first time, I think it was like 3 months ago or so, I'm standing in my kitchen and, you know, through all the things, all the bad things, all the people leaving, all the crap we're hearing, all kinds of stuff. And I basically told Terry, said, for the first time, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Yep.
I mean, I said, I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm not going anywhere. Because for me, the first time in my life, I found something I truly love, and I love what I do, and I do what I love. And so I treat it like a marriage. So I'm not going to go, I'm not going to leave because it gets hard. And so a lot of people don't get that. And so, you know, for us, it's been a true blessing to be married for 25 years, come up 26 years, and travel the world. And thank God I met you. I met you and your wife in Monte Carlo on a scooter. We went on this excursion. I mean, if I didn't do this, I would have never met you. So for me, that's the blessing in itself. So we're all in. We're not going anywhere. And we thank God for Josh and Wayne. We love them and we pray for them. And we pray for all y'all that who is on this call that, you know, you want to stay and be part of this amazing journey.
Hey, Mary. So I just want to ask you to give a shout out to all the women listening to this, because you know, there's so many IMDs, but you're the third female to be interviewed on this Zoom call, weekly Zoom call. So tell the ladies, you know, why, from a woman's perspective, this is a real career and something that can really benefit your family and your life.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, girls, ladies, listen to me. Listen to me. Okay. So my career, my background is an executive assistant. I'm a high-level executive assistant. I get to do some amazing things in my life, and I get paid really well, but I work my butt off. I work my butt off. And, you know, to get recognition there, I get paid so much because whatever they can give me. But here, what I found is, ladies, it doesn't matter how old we are, how we look, what size, doesn't matter, but our desire is to impact women. I remember when I spoke at the women's event at boot camp, Momentum, of a couple of years ago. And literally, I did not want to work with women. I just don't see how women can impact this. And I sat there, I'm like, you know what? I need to be on that stage because I have a story to tell. And that just stirred in me. But I knew that I need to be an IMD. I need to be somebody so that people can listen to me, because I know what I can bring to the table. But here, you know, we need to rank. So we need to show that we can do this. And so when I'm always been Tere's wife, and I love that title, but you know, I am me. And when you become, when you're married to somebody, you're Tere's wife, or my daughter's name is Noelle, and I'm Noelle's mom, but no one who know I am. So that's why I decided to do something more, and I have to step out of my comfort zone. So here, to be uncomfortable pays you really, really well. So I encourage you ladies, step out and do more, because ladies, we can go on vacation together and sleep in the same bed and it's okay. You know, and we can share with so many ladies because we work hard. And for me, is working hard doesn't get you the places you want to go unless you bring people with you. So I just choose to do more, and I'm willing to do more. And this business is nothing that is in my comfort zone. But because I got out of my comfort zone, I get to become the person that I've been created to be. And I encourage you to do more and be more and show more, because we need more ladies on stage.
And how many days will you be on vacation this year?
Oh, this year, I think I came up to about 100 days.
So far?
So far, and we're leaving for Hawaii on Wednesday. So I'm adding more days to my life, which I love.
I think it'll be 4 months on vacation this year, Dennis.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. So guys, just one last thing, you know, the both of you, what's the one coolest thing that makes you love this opportunity and the concept of Worldventures and Dream Trips?
Okay.
Well, what I love is that when I walk away from a presentation, someone cried and thanked me, and because they knew that I care about them, and whether they do the business or not, but if they have, I tell people, and Tere does the same thing, if you pay half as much, you get to travel twice as much. And living in the Bay Area, people can make a lot of money, but they don't have fulfillment. And so for me, that is the fun things. And then one of the other thing is too, that, you know, is a business that we can do together. And there's no competition. And it's a blessing in my life, because I don't know where I would be if I didn't do this, because I was not working when we saw this, and I just was happy being a stay-at-home mom. But I think there's more than just being a stay-at-home mom. I can impact more people and let them know there's more there's more to life.
Yeah, in the end, Dennis, it's more than success. As you begin to grow, success gives way to significance. Mm-hmm. And what she's saying is, as we impact other people's lives, there's a significance that comes from that. and it's something you can't get at a job just because you get paid X amount. That's not the point. When you're making a difference in the lives of other people, when people join your organization and they find purpose, so much so that they stop drinking as an alcoholic because they found this purpose. When marriages get better because they start to travel more together and start to get away and remember why they got married. When people start to retire early and stress goes out of their lives. When couples can stop working 14, 15-hour days and giving just the leftovers to each other, but they get to give the best overs to each other because they're working fewer hours. All those things are about significance, and it fulfills us at a different level. And so that to me is the magic of our world right here. We can make a difference in a lot of people's lives, and by doing that, we get to create more success for ourselves along the way. So it's just been awesome, man.
All right, so very cool, very nice to have both of you share your experience with everybody. So everyone, right, give you a big hug, loves and kisses and well wishes in the chat group. Send them some love, guys. Okay, so thank you very much, Mary and Terry. Right, so we hope to see you at the next big event, right? US or somewhere here in Asia. All right.
I want to come and train in Singapore, bro.
Yeah, I love Singapore. Love to go there.
Love that. Okay, so wave goodbye to everyone, guys. Right, and say goodbye to Asia and the rest of the world. All right.
Bless you guys.
Love you guys.
Let's conclude tonight's call. Okay, everybody. All right, let's come back to the screen here. Okay, so yes, do you see the slides, everyone? Okay, so this is a network marketing company, all right? And in fact, it's the only one, in fact, if not the only one, I think it's the only one out there, all right, that is, number one in the industry that has actually created a brand for itself over the last 13 years, Worldventures and Dream Trips, okay? You can come in with very low risk, very low financial commitment, and you can still build a huge passive income generating asset and acquire great wealth for yourself. So on the right, you can see Wayne Nugent with Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, at one of our events, right? And travel industry on the whole is $7 trillion. So compared to coffee and nutrition, right, which is only a few $100 million, travel is so much bigger, right? Coffee is like 100 billion, nutrition is only 226 billion, compared to 7 trillion in the travel industry, guys, okay? All right, and Virgin, right, the founder of Virgin, Sir Richard Branson, and even people like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, right? They also are very big fans of network marketing, okay? In fact, Warren Buffett and Bill Gates actually bought a network marketing together, and they both said that it was their best investment ever, right, in a network marketing business, all right? And if you want to start the business, right, with us, choose Gold membership or Platinum, and you also have to become a Worldventures representative. So to be a representative, it's so affordable for everyone around the world. It's just $100